So vermicomposting is just the process of using worms, that's where the vermi comes from, to process organic wastes. And worms can do that with pretty much anything that's organic. These little worms decompose the material, and they're not the only ones that are doing the work. So they don't have teeth. They have mouth pads that will slurp up rotten stuff already. And it's the biology, it's the bacteria that decompose the organic material. It's the bacteria and the other biology that's on the skin and the surface of the worm, and that's in the worm's gut. So the worm is really kind of a processing factor. You know, this is just one way to compost. Everybody's seen compost piles, and you can do high temperature composting where you're watching the thermometers going up. Worms don't have that thermophilic stage, or that stage where you have very high heat and bugs and microorganisms that like that high heat. It's mesophilic. It's fairly warm, but not very high temperatures, and a whole host of mostly bacteria, but fungi and protozoa and other organisms that break things down. That not just happen when the worms are active, but long after the worms have left, that biological process continues and really improves the compost quality. So what we have here is a can of worms, which is one of the many different types of worm bins, commercial worm bins. We'll talk a little bit about what makes a good worm bin and some of the other options that are available in a minute. But if you look inside, there's a mix of high carbon materials, bedding type materials, and you can use cardboard, you can use paper, you can use coconut coir, you can use compost that's already been composted a little bit. You can also use wood chips if there's not a lot of it, but if you mix some of these green food materials with wood chips, for example, you may get some heating, and so you need to be careful of that.